To let people know we were going live over here. And so it's funny. I think 5 minutes is always enough. And it's like, I'm always rush. I tell my husband that I'm an eternal optimist. I always think I have more time than I really have. in life. I mean, I know you are exactly the same way, which is
yes.
both encouraging and probably very dangerous for both of us. So it's pretty awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marley Bird. I am your instructor here typically for knitting and crochet items. And I'm joined today by my business partner, one of my best friends, Robyn Chachula. And if you don't know, we are also the authors, the creators, the teachers, the coaches over at the BiCrafty Champions Workshop. It is a workshop course, very large, heavy course we put together for knitters and crocheters. That is a live make along right now as we're experiencing the Summer Olympics here for 2021. The workshop is not only for the Olympics, though. It will go on beyond that. However, this is our very first Q&A from sections 1 through 3 of both the knit shawl and the crochet shawl. Section 4 will be coming out soon. I don't know if we can spoil anything, so I'll try not to do that.
What I was going to say is you probably know if you have the box.
You probably know.
You squished the next bag.
I know, right? But those of you out there who are like, what is this BiCrafty Champions Workshop? What are they talking about? If you look at the video description box below, of course, I've put a link there. You can click on that and go to my website where there's information where you can purchase part of this, or you can purchase the workshop to be a part of this. So that's where we are. So many people are here, Robyn. So many people saying hello. So many people. Christy Bostick, I see you, and I see your shawl you're making, because I actually told one of my testers today that they should probably look at using that same yarn that you're using on yours. I was like, that would be really pretty, because I hadn't even thought about using that yarn. Just thought I'd let you know. Like, that's pretty awesome. Cheryl is here. Tammy's here. Nikki and Jennifer and Barb. And gosh, Patty Wan Kenobi is here. And Micky Roop, Joanne and Gloria, Diane, Diana, J.A. Russell, Julia, Tracy. Oh my gosh, so many people. I am curious, Robyn, because I know that there are so many people who are part of this workshop who probably don't know me. I mean, they're probably fans of Destination Yarn or Erin Lane Bags, and they're like, I want to be a part of that. Who's this Marley Bird? Who's this Robyn Chachula? She has a YouTube channel. Like, it's the first time they could be here. So I want to know, show of hands in the live chat, if this is the first time you've been here on my YouTube channel, let me know. Let me know. And don't worry, there's a lot of regulars here who will help you keep up with everything. Robyn, you've been on the channel a couple times now, talking about different things, both in interview format and then here as co-host format and all sorts of things. Look at you. You're so happy. I'm
with you, Marley. I'm always happy.
Oh, God, you're so great. You're so great. Can I just tell you that this was literally just delivered and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm sitting here. I can smell the pizza. Not sponsored by Pizza Hut, y'all. I can smell it, but I'm like, I don't really want to like be chowing down. Maybe I will. I don't know, because I'm a little hungry. It's been a day, it's been a week, it's been a time. But a lot of people here. Betty Lopez, nope, I love your channel. Sylvia Maxwell, first time live. Welcome. I'm happy to be here. All right. So because I know that we want to make sure that we keep this down to an hour and there might be a lot of questions. I don't know if you already have some of the questions that people asked in the Facebook group specific to the box. So you can kind of lead those along the way. But I'm going to let people know, if you are here live on the chat and you have a question concerning the knit shawl or the crochet shawl for sections 1 through 3, if you could add your question to the chat, we will do our best to get to as many questions as possible here over the next hour, answer as many as we possibly can. I think I'm going to start us off with like, I want to say like, I don't know if you guys know, but for section 2 and 3 of the shawl, for the knit shawl, I did update the pattern, and not with anything that was like super vital or anything like that. Like if there was something vital, you already knew about that, but just little tweaks that were just like, I'm just going to clarification sort of things. And maybe there was an extra knit one in the written instructions, but the chart was correct. I just auto corrected those and updated the PDF in the member vault. So I'm letting you know that if you are like, maybe you're not at that section yet, or maybe you're like me and you're like, well, I gotta have the newest one. I totally get it. You can go download, you'll know what it is. It says updated. But I also want you to know at the end of the workshop, you're going to get one big pretty PDF with everything in one PDF. So you technically don't have to have all of them printed out to put together, because that's going to be done for you at the very end. So for the knit section 2 and section 3, there are updates if you want to download those. And I know for section 3, right, Robyn?
3.
For section 3 for the crochet. Simple thing, not things that are like, oh my gosh, you got to rip out your work and redo stuff. Nothing like that.
No, just the basic. I forgot to change that we were using color C instead of color B. Yes, well, just minor
and for me, it's like typical. I mean, I use the charts. Obviously, you guys know as you're watching the videos, I use the charts as I'm going through stuff. So I rely on my testers to check the words. So sometimes if it says like there's an extra knit 1 in there, I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So, and it's simple, because so far the people who've caught it are like, I see what's going on. It's like I said, it's nothing huge. It's nothing life altering. But I just wanted to start off with that. So that is all over at Member Vault. You guys, by this point, if you're part of the workshop, you know that the workshop is in Member Vault. Loving it. And
you can say real quick, Marley, like if it is ever a big oops, like on section 2 where the row just wasn't working out, we're going to send an email. We're going to send an email. You don't have to search through the 800 posts on Facebook. You don't have to dig through the comments. We're going to make it nice and bold so you can see it. For me, for section 3, I updated the diagram because I was a dodo and put double crochets that you were joining to instead of single crochets. You know, they were the wrong stitch. But yeah, it didn't affect the pattern.
Yeah. So you're good. I just want everybody to know, like, sometimes it's all, there's no need to ruffle feathers and stuff when it's not anything that's like super huge, or like I said, something where you literally, it's like, hey, this is going to mess up everything. And obviously our goal is always to have a perfect pattern, but we're all human. We're human. The testers are human. The tech editors are human. We're all human. There's a lot going on. But it looks good.
At this point, everybody can see that it's a lot. You know, each of these patterns is, 7 to 10 pages long, for each section. And so, sure, little mistakes are going to filter through, even though we've had like 10 to 12 eyeballs on.
At minimum. It's really crazy. But the good thing, I mean, you mentioned like it's 7 to 8 pages, whatever, but we shouldn't even call this a pattern by the time it's done. It's a book. It's a book. It's a huge pattern. Both of them are huge. All right. So there's lots of questions coming in. Just a heads up, if there was an update, I'm pretty sure we put on their updated like 7, whatever yesterday was or whatever. Like you'll see it's up there, but you'll be good. Everybody's good. Everybody's great. All right. So many first time ever live. Actually, this is my first live chat ever. Well, Silver, first live chat ever. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then Nikki, oh, look at this. Nikki, I found you recently when you had Tony from TL Yarn Crafts on. I love her too. She's amazing. She's doing great things. Did you hear she has a new book coming out for Tunisian crochet?
Yes, of course I do. Excited. I'm obsessed with Tunisian.
I know you are.
Her style, everything she does is fabulous.
Yeah, she's pretty darn great. Crochet by Crafty question. All right, you get the hot seat. And I don't even know if this is the first one. It just happens to be the next one I see here. All right, so I'm going to click it. Crochet by Crafty. I ended up with 37 groups of 3 double crochets instead of 38. Am I off?
Yeah. Sorry, you are. But that's okay. What I would do is go back to the row before and make sure you have the right number of chain 3 spaces, because that's really where it's happening. Obviously, you're always going to be putting those groups of 3 double crochets in those chain spaces. So my guess is that there's one off somewhere, because you should have 19 on each side when you're done. 19 on either side of the triangle. But yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, guys, when you realize that you're off somewhere. And I mean, usually you'll know the pattern and you can just tweak it and fudge it yourself, right? I tend to do that on my own. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I got to make sure this works. Like I can't just add an extra stitch here because I'm short. Like, oh, where did I mess up? Is the pattern messed up or am I messed up? Like, I get it. I totally get it.
Now, I will say that if you like for the last row of the border or the last row of what you're doing there, the triangle, you could just throw in a couple extra stitches to get you the right stitch count. No one's going to notice. No one's going to look at yours and count.
Right.
That, oops, you were off. You really, for the crochet one, you need the correct stitch count at the very end. So the very end of the triangle, the very end of the border, because that's where you join your motifs to. So if you want to fudge it, go ahead. And like, oops, if you had, you know, like I know for the border, you end up with like 123 single crochets. If you ended up with 122 single crochets, and so just skip one less stitch when you're joining. Like there is a little bit that you can do, especially with the motifs. You can move them a little bit.
I'm going to say even like on section 3, like if there's an area like where maybe you put a purl instead of a knit or something, it's not the end of the world. Like you're going to be fine. It's okay. It's totally all right. Okay. So we have people here from, I've just got to scroll up to find where the questions are. Everybody's saying where they're from. And then I'm going to keep going. Oh my gosh. So many people saying, hello, Jennifer Williams. You are, she's not Williams anymore. It's LeClaire. She got married. Okay, so Christy Bostic said she just finished section 1. I know that she is knitting. Joanne Marshall, I have a question about the crochet shawl. What do we do with the second triangle from section 1? Aha! Go.
This is the perfect question, which I'm so thankful that you asked. It was asked in our Facebook group. Thank you. Yeah, you're going to just hold on to that. Don't do anything with it yet. You're going to hold on to it and something magical is going to happen with it a little later on. But that's a fabulous question because we've had a lot of people asking, do I need to join the motifs to both of them? Nope. Just one. Right.
Yeah.
Just one. So just hold on to that and don't do anything with it yet.
So I'm just reminding everybody, yes, this workshop, in case you're new here, this is for knitters and crocheters. It just happens to be that there's a couple more questions for the crocheters tonight. It's because the crochet one is so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I know it is, but yours is like, yours even makes my mind sort of blow up a little bit when I'm editing your videos. I'm like, oh no, she didn't. Did she do? She just did that. Like, I'm like, awesome. Victoria Rice says that she just started section 3. I don't know if it's knit or crochet, but congratulations. Tammy, she said my name. She said it. Tammy, I said your name. Hello from Illinois. Let's see here. Joanne says, great channel. Thank you very much. And let's see here. Stephanie Manafee. I'm going to click on Stephanie. I love Stephanie. Stephanie is one of my testers who bought the box and doesn't want to be surprised. And I'm like, Stephanie, I need you. I finished the pattern part for section 3 onto the stripes to finish it off. Ready for section 4 tomorrow. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We'll just hide that right there. Spoiler alert.
Well, I told you. You just have to touch your bag and you'll know what day it is.
You'll know. If it's squishy, chances are.
For anybody who's just taking the workshop. Surprise!
Yeah, I know, right?
3 days off. That's a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, let me keep going here. We answered that one. Made it to the live for the first time. When were your updates posted? All the updates, when you go in there, you'll see you'll see the date that it was posted. I put it on there to make sure everybody knew.
And again, just to reiterate, if it is a big update, if it changes the pattern, that's when we send the email.
Yep.
So any update is the silly mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. So like,
do not change your pattern.
Right. In section 2, row 21, technically it would have worked out. Technically, it put the eyelets in just one stitch over. So technically, is it a big fix? Not really, but is it one where I was like, you know, I just want to make this right so that it looks fluid all the way through? Yes. So that's where it was. But technically, it would have worked because technically I did it on mine. Technically. Okay, this is a really good question and one that a lot of people have. What happens if I run out of color A? I'll start off with mine. So I have positioned it in such a way for my shawl that as we get close to where our color A comes to an end, where we're not supposed to use it anymore, if you have run out, I have designed the shawl to where you can use one of the other colors, the future colors, and it will swap out beautifully and work out just fine. So I have worked into my design because, you know, I've designed a lot of different things, and the last thing I ever want to do is run out of yarn, right? So I've made sure designing the knit shawl is like, okay, what if somebody doesn't heed my warning? What if, you know, for whatever reason, a dog got some yarn and you lost 10 yards, you know, what if? So without trying to save like a ton of yarn and then all of a sudden you guys have all this yarn left over from a box that was super expensive. Like, I don't want that either. I designed it in such a way that there is a fix if we need it. And when I say we, I mean you, if you run out of color A. Having said that, you should be just fine with color A the way I have things broken up and how much yardage you should use with each one, because I have been very careful with how much I have left over. So I can show you guys my color. This was obviously my color C. This is my color B. That's how much yarn I had left of those two colors after my shawl. So I can show you those two because they're sitting right here. Because I happened to buy a new scale and I was like, I'm going to weigh these. So I had them here. But for me, you should be all right with that. Do you want to mention yours?
Yeah. So with the crochet, you definitely won't run out. You have enough to do exactly as the pattern is written. And you're going to have you're not going to have a lot left over, but you're going to have more than you have left over of your B or C right now. And if you finish section 3 with doing C, you can tell you have a squishy, fat little ball left, because the round 1 and round 2 were done with A, and only 3 and 4 were done with C. You're going to have more than that left over of A on mine when you're all done. But I, as well, as you will see in the video, put in lots of different places where I say, you don't have to use this here. You could use, if you want, like you should have a lot of C left over. You could use this here instead of your A, instead of whatever color I'm using as we go along. So that should be said. Don't get rid of those squishy, tiny little balls.
No.
Because we have ways of you using them at the end if you want. You can have nothing left in your shawl, will be perfect. But I like to use up every little tiny bit. So if you have any left, keep them.
All right. Cool. All right. So Natanya has a question. How do I change the finished designation for my knitting? I accidentally did it for crochet instead of knitting. I think she's talking about Member Vault. Honestly, Natanya, it doesn't even matter. If I remember correctly, you can go in, I think, and just unclick complete. If not, it really doesn't matter. Even if you click complete or not complete, the information is still there and available to you. So I would not stress on it. Because I honestly, I don't know how to change it, but it's really just there for your notes more than anything. I have nothing to do with it. It's just there for your notes. So I hope that helps somewhat. It doesn't mean anything. Sylvia Maxwell says, can we still do this? You mean, can you still join the workshop? Absolutely. Absolutely. And all you need to do is click the link in the video description box below. Let me see if I even have it on here. I'm pretty sure I do. You're more than welcome to type that in also, and that'll give you all the information for the workshop. And as I said, this workshop goes beyond just the Olympics. We happen to partner up the release with the Olympics and with the Olympic, or not the Olympic, but the BiCrafty Games boxes with Destination Yarn and Erin Lane bags. But the workshop itself will continue to go on. So you can sign up whenever. So if you guys are catching this on the replay, like 2 years later, you absolutely can still sign up. Like it's still there. So that's where that is. All right. So I'm going to go back to comments here and scrolling through a little bit. Do you have to buy the box or can we stash dive? That's a good question too. I'll let you answer that.
You absolutely can stash dive. One of the very first videos in a section that we call pregame shows you how to choose yarn so that you can go stash diving. And even for people who have the box, they're finding, hopefully, that this is something that they may want to make again. Or they're making the box out, they're doing the knit version with the knitting, but they're going to do the crochet out of their own stash. So yes, but we don't tell you what you need at all until you buy the workshop, because it's kind of very long-winded and everything coordinates with something else, and it's not just go buy 10 balls of this. It's a little bit longer than that.
Yeah. It's very detailed. I mean, those of you who've watched the pregame stuff, hopefully you can attest to this, that we were very conscientious on the amount of information we gave you and tried to give you everything you could possibly need in the pregame. And then so far in all the videos, I mean, all the videos are an hour long for each of us, I think, right? I think they're all an hour long. Pretty great. So Tracy has a question here, and it's Tracy Ludwig. Anybody brave enough to do all 8 rows in the divider section in the knit? I was chicken and only did 4. Well, the sample has 8 rows, so you should be able to. I actually saw quite a bit of people in the Facebook groups, both in Minions and in just the box group, who did 8 rows. They're like, I'm going to believe in Marley. At the same time, I love that the 4 rows work too, because as you guys already saw as you went to section 3, all that really means is you're either going to have 5 garter ridges in your divider section total between the divider and the stripe, right? It's either 5 garter ridges of color A, or it'll end up with 3 garter ridges of color A, which are both still Fibonacci numbers, right? They're both, and they're very pleasing to me. I do not like the number 4, which is what's funny, the fact that it's like you have to do 4 rows. But it's 2 ridges. So it's not 4 rows, it's 2 ridges. That's where I'm counting it. I hate the number 4.
Yes, so there you go. A little crazy Marley tidbit.
I do.
Who hates the number 4?
I despise the number 4. It is not, it does not, I do not like it. I do not like the number 4 at all. I don't like it.
I don't hate numbers, but sure.
I do not like the number 4 at all. Okay, so this is a good question here too. Using maple in the workshop, is the leaderboard important or just for fun? It is just for fun. It is one of the things that Member Vault puts together to kind of be like, hey, here's where you are. This is where you can compare to the other people who are participating in future workshops that we end up doing, because we do have a lot of stuff in the works, you guys. So hopefully you guys will join us for those as well. It could be that maybe we do something fun with the leaderboard overall, like maybe I have no idea. I honestly don't know, but no, it's purely just for fun. You can actually turn off your participation in the leaderboard. Somewhere in your settings, you can go in there. I don't know where it is. If you search, like turn off the EP is what it is. It's like, I just forgot, experience points or
earned points.
Earned points. There you go. So you can turn off the EP and so you're not part of the leadership board if you don't want to be a part of that. So yeah, that's all it is. Will Member Vault open? Let me see here. Will Member Vault be open after the Olympics for those of us running a bit? Absolutely. Julie, it is yours. You got the workshop. It doesn't go away after the Olympics. It's still going to be there. Absolutely. If you bought a box, or maybe you bought the workshop early on when we first opened it up and you got it at a discount, fantastic. It does not mean, all of a sudden it's going to go away. It's there. It's there until my business goes away. So, and that's not happening anytime soon. So you're good. No, we definitely want you to still be able to gain all the information. And not only that, like Robyn and I have things that we want to do to even beef up what's in there, if you can believe that. And because you've already bought the workshop, you're going to get all the beefing up for free. Like you won't have to pay any extra for that. So yeah, it's definitely going to be there for sure. All right, let's see. Here's one. Have weights of yarn A been given after each section so one knows if you have enough yarn? Technically, no. I tried to appease some nervousness out there for people who are like, I just don't know. I've got engaged. Have I used too much yarn? Have I not? So I let people know, hey, if you've used 18 grams for the knitting one, if you used 18 grams after section 1 of your color A, you're good. What I didn't say is if you've used up to 20 grams, you're still good. But if you've used like 22, 25, yeah, you probably want to be careful. Just a little bit leery. Just be like, hey, just pay attention. And you're going to know immediately if you're really far off, if you get to one of the other colors and you run out before you finish that. Because like, I didn't make these sections so that you only have like this much yarn left. Like it shouldn't be like that. You should have, at least a gram is what my goal was, at least a gram. I tried to use all of it because I don't want a short shawl. So I tried to use as much as possible. So I'm going to stick with that because I didn't go and weigh my skein out throughout the entire thing. So I can't tell you each one. But I will tell you, like, if you're anywhere between 18 grams to 20 grams after section A, you're good. 22 is really pushing it. Like that's like, you probably should only do the 4 rows to get the 2 garter stitches because you're going to be really tight or not. And I say tight, like you have a chance of running out. But if you're somewhere there within, 21 to 18, like that's a good range for me. I know that the crochet one, guys, if you haven't put it together, it's a lot different because you use color A again with your section 3, with your color C, like you use the 2 together. So that's not as easy to decipher things at all. You want to answer that?
No, you said exactly it. But like Marley was saying, that if you, especially with the knit one, if after the first section, you don't have to weigh how much you used or how much you have left, or you do not need to do any of this. Mm-hmm. But this is where I used to be an engineer. I love weighing things. It's just, I love the math and organization of all of this. This is definitely playing to me. But knowing that we designed it, that if you got into Marley's range, if you're less than 20, you can just sit back and you don't need to weigh it ever again. Because you're going to have enough. Your gauge is going to work out.
You should be good.
For me, you do not need to worry about how much yarn you're using. Because like I said, you're going to have some left over. You're not going to have a gigantic ball, but you're going to have enough left over.
Having said that, still get gauge. Like, don't be like, oh, it's just a shawl. We can do whatever we want.
Unless you're using your own yarn.
Unless you're using your own yarn.
If you're using your own yarn, please don't stress about that gauge.
Oh my God.
Whatever you want.
No.
Because you can get more. But unfortunately, anybody who has the box, you cannot get more.
Trust me, I wish I had 100 grams of all the colors. Like, I'd be willing to buy that box because
that's the problem
about color.
Well, more than anything, the colors are beautiful. Oh my God, I'd really like to do some more stuff with them because they really, really flow nicely. I would like
so good.
Big ball of all of them.
But I mean, Robyn said it best once to me. She's like, you know what? They need to understand, they being you guys, that we have stressed over the amount of yarn used so that you don't have to, right? So we've stressed on our end to make sure we've designed something that uses the right amount of yarn. We've calculated how big things need to be. We've made the item. We've done all the things so that you don't have to. So for us to be able to say to you, hey, as long as you get gauge, you're going to be fine. You should not be stressing about this. And this isn't anything new, guys. This isn't like some designers just coming out to you and just telling you about gauge. Every single pattern you pick up has gauge. Every single pattern, if you want that size, get that gauge, right? And for this one, it just has that added element of for those of you who bought the box, you have this much yarn. And for this much yarn, if you get this gauge, you will get this. If you deviate from this gauge with this much yarn, You might run short for this. So it's pretty simple, but I love what Robyn said. We stressed about it so that you don't have to, right? We really worked hard about it. And yes, we stressed about it. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I was just like I would have liked to add more than 24 rows, right? I wanted each section for just the color. I wanted it to be 6 inches. You guys measured yours? It's like 3, 2.5, 3, 3.25. Like it's somewhere around there, right? It's not 6. It's not 6. So as I'm knitting along the very first time, I was like, damn it, I have to change everything. And so, that was stressful. So don't get stressed. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. You guys will be great.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. So people are talking about only doing 4. It's hard. I can't scroll the questions without them getting highlighted, and then I can't read them. How long will the videos be accessible? I mean, they're available to you as long as Marley Bird is in business. The videos are great. I love your videos.
Thank you.
Is it?
Marley does some great editing, doesn't she?
Yeah, thanks.
Pretty good video editor.
Just a reminder, whenever there's an update that's like super like vital to the pattern, we absolutely will send out an email and let everybody know. It won't be a problem. If it's like a no big deal thing, I mean, honestly, I don't want to go and distress people. There's no reason to it, because then all of a sudden people are like, oh my gosh, like it's just not worth it. It's totally fine. You're fine. Everything's good. And like I said, at the very end, you get the entire book with all the sections in together, and everything's going to be great. Julia says, I'm crocheting with the Japanese garden box and knitting with the international competition box. I just started section 1 for the knitting today. Wow, she's adventurous. She is ambitious.
Way to go. That's fabulous. I want to knit the other one really bad.
I would say I want to crochet the other one, but there are so many ends. I don't want to crochet it. But I love it. That's the crux, right? It's just like, for me, like any sort of motif thing that has motifs to it, it's like
you're gonna have ends.
I'm gonna have ends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Let's see here. Sylvia says that she loves the number 4. Julia says, poor number 4. Yeah, that's where it is. Let's see here. Okay, I can't read what this is. Thank you, ladies. Really enjoying the crochet pattern, Robyn. When I have time and become more BiCrafty, I'm hoping to do the knit version, Marley. Well, Lori, stay tuned. If you don't already know, I've been hosting a BiCrafty Bootcamp on my own website for the past 16 weeks. It's coming to an end here soon, but it will become a workshop on its own, and it's 100% geared towards helping crocheters become knitters. And so a lot of the terminology I use references crochet stitches or crochet techniques. And so it's a great course. So many people are participating in the BiCrafty Bootcamp who have already made a sweater, who are in this making shawls. Like, it's crazy. So Lori, if you are definitely wanting to be BiCrafty, we have the stuff for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Robyn, any tips on staying oriented with all of the motifs and the project? You haven't really talked much about right side or wrong side and the order in which we attach motifs. I'll let you answer that, because I know what I would say.
This is true. So I say a lot in the videos for you to do you. You can attach in any order that you want to attach. You can attach the right side or the wrong side. I talk about that a lot. You can choose the pretty side. Coming up, the pretty side will be, in some of them, very obvious what is the right side. In the written pattern, I definitely go through what order I think are easiest to do it. So you'll always see motif A is joined to your corner. So you have your triangle, it's always joined right to the corner. And then all the B's will join first to the motif that you just did and then to the border, because I find that direction easiest. So after you've done 3 of those. Then you move on to the C motifs, which are a little bit harder because you need to count back 15 stitches before you start joining to your border and then your motifs. But you don't have to do it in that order. When I made the sample that we're doing, I didn't do it in that order. I did it in whatever order I felt like that day. So you don't have to. With motifs, there is no rules. And like I said, you can use, I said it a lot on the videos, but I just want to keep saying it. Use any join you like. I on purpose did so many different kinds just so you could try them. I'm like, the cheerleader of just try it. Maybe you like it. And even if you don't like it on this project, maybe you want to use it on a different one. So I'm always like pushing more stuff on you, and you'll see that. But yeah, if you don't like it for whatever motif you're doing, just don't do it. And more than anything, I want you to feel empowered and confident that you can join them however you want. However you want. They all, after section 2, because section 2 gets joined to your initial triangle. Section 3 is getting joined to your single crochets. The way they get joined along that border is like 15 stitches, 15 stitches. The half ones are worked over 16 stitches because you have 123 stitches along the edge. So, that's just a little, the way that they're lined up. The way I like space them out, where I'll say like skip 3 stitches, skip 2 stitches. If you want to skip more or less, no one's gonna notice. So if you're feeling like something is tight and you want to skip less or more, you can kind of just say, okay, within this motif, I need to be centering mine on 15 stitches. And then when I get to the half motif, I need to somehow work it in the 16 stitches. You can kind of play. That's us crocheters. We get it a lot easier than knitters. We can skip stitches, put our hook wherever we want. We're kind of, give me mavericks, and
you're free spirited.
Yeah. And we can be very organic if we want, even though I'm very much not. I'm very much, this is why you have those joining diagrams that are so crazy with diagrams and all those stitches. That's how my brain works. I like everything, figure it out, but you don't have to be.
What's interesting to me is hearing you say that. You're absolutely right. I'm out of the two of us, I'm probably the more free-spirited, like yeah, whatever, right? But you're the one that's really more crochet. I'm more knitting, but I'm very much more like, you're more adventurous. I love your word kooky. I love it. You're like, we're going to do some kooky stitches. Like you definitely do that, but you're right. Like that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
In our personalities.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm the reserved one and you're the adventurous one, without a doubt.
Let's do it. Got 15 things to do. Let's add a book. True story. To which Robyn's response was, sure. True story. All right. Another question for you. Brianne. For crochet, is there a way to keep the 3 half double crochet cluster loose when making it? All of mine are a wee bit difficult to create. Is it my tension? It's my first time using finger weight yarn. Oh, girl. First off, I can't wait till you block it because you're going to be like mind blown. It's so pretty. All right. I'm going to let you answer, Brianne.
Great. This is a fantastic question. So for me, when I started, I was super tight all the time. And so especially when you're doing these puff stitches, I give it just an extra little push up. And because we're using such a tiny hook, I kind of use my thumb as how far I should push up. Like, the distance of your thumb as an indicator of, I want to exaggerate those loops because you don't want to keep them really, 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 really tight. it doesn't give you the puffiness. And this is one of those stitches that you can use more yarn to exaggerate the shape of it. And it's being a little bit looser and giving yourself a little bit more will make it puff out. But it's just practice. Just keep practicing. And you'll get it.
Yeah. All right. So here's another question for you. I have done a knit gauge swatch, but unsure about what to do for the crochet swatch. Did I miss where that was given?
Nope, you didn't. It wasn't in the video. I was very secretive on purpose because in the pre-game, no one had the pattern yet. And so I didn't want to tell you what the gauge is, because then you know the pattern. So on purpose, it's the first 11 rows of your first triangle is the crochet gauge. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay it down and stretch it out. So you just lay it down, and can it stretch out to the gauge I gave you? If it doesn't stretch out, then go up a hook size. It's too small. If you got it and it's already the gauge size, then it's too big.
Without a lot of stretch, then it's too big.
We are going to be stretching our shawls because with all of the pretty stitches that we're doing, we have so much lace and so much detail. We want to see that. Yeah. And because when you crochet, it all becomes like a ball. It all locks together. It's kind of like Velcro. All of the fibers curl on themselves. So we need them to lay out so they can see the pretty stuff.
This is especially like if you're using an animal fiber. If you're using a plant fiber, it's still important to open that up because, gosh, it's going to be so pretty. Like it's just going to be pretty. Yeah, they're going to love that. But yeah, you answered the question. The first 11 rows. That's perfect. All right, so here we go. I will forever refer to a CDD as a chicken foot. It looks like it though, right? That symbol. Every time I see that symbol, it's like a chicken foot.
That's what I want to call it.
It's a chicken foot. It's what I've called it ever since I saw it in a first pattern. And I saw it. And then the first time I did it in a lace pattern, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have made the Grayson Waves scarf that I did a couple years ago out of Chic Sheep, I used it in that. It's one of my favorite decreases because it keeps that center stitch just lined up beautifully. So if you have something that's creating beautiful lines, oh, it's just, I love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. All right, Stephanie Rose.
So much I translated it to Tunisian.
Did you really? That's awesome. I love it. So my first section measures 13, knitting or crochet?
Is the big question.
Yeah, I don't know if this is knitting or crochet. So Stephanie, if you're here.
I'm guessing, Stephanie, that is crochet because that would be really little for knitting because knitting should be 18.5 inches. So that'd be really little. So, okay, so the crochet one is 15.5 across. So blocking, that would be like 1 inch on each side. You're going to be stretching it a lot. You're going to be stretching it quite a lot. So what I'm going to tell you is if you're already done, don't rip it out. Yours is just going to be a little smaller. Who cares? So mine was 15.5 inches across. Let's say when you block yours to like 14.5 inches. No one's going to notice that yours is 1 inch more narrow than mine.
Right.
It's still going to be plenty long.
Right. Yep. We have another one here. So I think Joanne is agreeing with you. Section 3 motifs, crochet, are filled with ends. They are. When I was editing that video, I was like, they're going to hate you. And then when you're all, we're going to cut the yarn here and rejoin down, we're going to get more ends. I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. Julia, she says that she got them all woven. Julia, nobody likes a bragger, my friends. Nobody likes a bragger. She knows I love her. I'm just giving you crap. Just giving you crap. All right. Tammy says she has been dealing with ends as they come, so they won't be a million later. brilliant. Like that's the best thing to do is honestly weave them in as you go. I do the exact same thing, which everybody knows. Cheryl Marley taught me how to weave in my ends on knit one as you go. Yep. Just do it as you go for sure. Let's see here. Right now, will there be a charge for that? I'm enrolled in BiCrafty Bootcamp. Tessa, I think you're asking me if there'll be a charge for the BiCrafty Bootcamp workshop. When it becomes a workshop, yes. Right now, BiCrafty Bootcamp is free. This was essentially my, not even a soft launch. I don't think that's what you call it. Just like I was building the class and you guys were my free students to build the class. So that's how that goes. Hello, everybody. Can a lefty use the kit for boot camp? I'm guessing a lefty crocheter. So I would say yes. And personally, Robyn, I would think that with all the diagrams you've offered, that's brilliant for left-handed crocheters because they can see exactly how to do things, right?
Yeah, it's just when you're attaching, obviously. So, when I'm crocheting, I'm always going counterclockwise. And when you're left-handed, you're going clockwise when you're doing it. So it just means that you need to use, so like if you're reading the pattern, if you're going through and reading all the words, for you, the C motifs are really the B motifs. You just flip because the way you join them, what you would come to first. So you're just going to, skip down and read those words instead. But that's just because you are working in the opposite direction. But yeah. You can still do it. Yeah. But for me, you'll also notice like when you're reading the diagrams, again, they're assuming that you're going in the counterclockwise direction.
Clockwise. Oh,
they're going
right-handed. Right-handed are going clockwise, right? Oh no, counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. And so left-handed, you would read it the other way around, but that's okay. Just read it the other way around. Yeah. Read it as the other stitch first.
All right, Renee Williams. I made a shawl for my mom from boot camp before she passed away, and my sister will get it. I can't be happier that I learned what I have in boot camp. I love you guys. Oh, Renee, I love you too, my friend. That's a beautiful story. I mean, other than your mom passing away, that sucks, but I'm glad you learned and you've enjoyed it. I love the join in lesson 3. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a 3-needle bind off.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a 3-needle bind off because you're sandwiching the two fabrics together and essentially creating a stitch out of it. It's like a 3-needle bind off.
Yeah, I love that join. I use it in blankets because you can go real fast.
Yeah. Tammy says that all of you doing both knit and crochet are truly BiCrafty champions.
You are.
I know, right? I'm going to, Cheryl says you two make a good pair. Well, thank you, Cheryl. It's good you think so. That's good you think so. Tammy is also saying, I'm loving the charts. They help me visualize how the motif is supposed to look. I could not agree more. Do you guys know that Robyn is the lady who introduced me to stitch diagrams? The more you know.
The more you know. I've been a little obsessed with them forever. I'm dyslexic, and so I can't read patterns. It's a nightmare for me. And so learning stitch diagrams has been a life changer.
Yep. All right, here's one. Nikki, I'm so glad you, Robyn, said that your project is all like a ball because my shawl is definitely doing that in section B, and I was getting a little worried.
Don't worry. That's why I realized halfway through the videos where I was like, oh, see, now we get a purl sighting.
Hello, I know. Hello.
Yeah, you got a purl sighting if you watched my videos as well.
Hello. Hello, baby.
She's just that friendly to everybody.
She just loves it. Stephanie says she calls it a chicken foot too. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll
But I'm going to go back to what we were saying before. In the videos, I kept blocking everything before I showed them to you. And I realized you don't want to see that. You want to see what yours is going to look like unblocked. So as you go forward, I'll say this is unblocked. And then in the next video, you'll see it all blocked. Because, of course, I had to block it.
Hi, Barbie.
Crazy person that I am. Go ahead. Sorry, Marley.
Nope, you're good. Everybody's like excited to see Pearl, that she's so grown up now. She is. She's so grown up. She's got an ear infection. We got to try and get to the doctor tomorrow. They were full today, so we couldn't get in. You say hello.
Poor baby.
Yeah, she's I go and lay over here, Mom. She's like, you got pizza there, Mom. What's going on? Betty Lopez is saying that she loves the crochet charts. So those are all the questions we have here on the live. Do you have any questions from Facebook that we didn't get to here?
Oh, yes. One big one from Facebook. We kind of get overwhelmed. Well, okay, not we. I get overwhelmed with the posts and the comments. I'm trying really, really hard to make sure I get to everybody. But if you want me or Marley specifically to answer something, just tag us in whatever you're asking. Just say, hey, Robyn, da, 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 or hey, Marley, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll make sure that we can find them really quick on Facebook.
I know we do have everything on, like we're approving comments or approving posts and stuff, so that way we can try and catch things and answer things directly beforehand too. But if you're commenting on a post and you need our attention, you absolutely please tag us, because we're trying to answer as many questions as possible. And with 800 and change people in the workshop, we don't
want more than anything, I don't want anybody out there to feel like I'm ignoring you or you didn't get your question answered. More than likely, I just didn't see it. And we're here for you and we love you. So please, please, please don't feel that way. We're not doing that on purpose. Yeah.
So here's a praise for you. I can never read crochet charts. Just learning how to do that made the cost of the class worth it. I agree with you.
Thank you.
I agree with you. It's awesome. All right, let me see the next one. Nikki, thank you for thinking about us, being worried about your bunched up unblocked project. Looking forward to see the finished is so pretty. It's so pretty. If I use only 4 colors, this is a good question. Other than colors A and F, do colors B and C, D and E, G and H, I and J are the correct pairs? No. Sorry.
No. it goes
baby girl,
B and G, C and H, D and I, E and J. So you're going to do the first 4 colors, then you'll have your F, and then you'll do those colors again.
Yeah, that's right. Good job, like on the fly, knowing they were. Let's see here. What is this one? Thank you both for all you've done for us with the patterns. Oh, thank you. We're doing the best we can. We really are trying to make this amazing for all of you. And the thing here is, guys, like, it's not like this is just a one-off amazing thing from us. This is what we want you guys to understand. This is what we want you to expect from us. So that way, as we put out more and more stuff, you can be like, oh, I know what I'm getting there. This is, exciting. A well-written pattern, a nice design, great videos, the support there for it. So we want to make sure that you guys have all that. Here's one. I'll let you answer this one.
Nowhere. There is nowhere that says what days the section will be posted. So the whole reason behind that is that everyone who has the box will know, because whenever the box people open yarn, a new section is posted, because we want you to use that yarn that day or whenever you're getting to it. But we don't want to spoil the surprise for everybody who has the box.
Right.
And who has been good and hasn't opened all the packages,
right,
which is totally what I would have already done.
And Robyn's been really great too. Each day, whether you get a new section or if it's something else, she's posting not only in the group for just the people who bought the box, but also in Marley's Minions. So all of you who are just part of the workshop, you didn't buy the box, make sure you're part of the Marley's Minions Facebook group, because we're keeping you up to tabs there. We're answering questions there. The testers are in there. So Robyn's really great at making sure that each day it's like, hey, it's day, next day you get a rest day, or hey, we're on to section 3, or she's really great at she's a great cheerleader. So she makes sure that we let you know. Now, of course, once this workshop is all done, all the videos will be out there. The pattern, you'll be able to see the pattern. Like nothing's going to be like held as a mystery anymore. But as we're going through right now, it's a drip release, but we don't want to, like I said, or like Robyn said, spoil the surprise for people who bought the box. Yeah.
So yeah, just to say that again, every day I'm posting if today's a rest day or if today's a new section day. So every day right around 12 Eastern time is when I'm posting, because that's when the videos are up on the website.
Yep. And they go up 12 Eastern time on the day the yarn is opened, barring any problems. Like I've lost power 3 times this week. It's only Wednesday, y'all. And I'm not talking like little like nuggets of time. I'm talking like hours. It's fantastic. But I do want to, because we're coming up on the hour, I want to leave them with a little something. I want to give them a sneak peek at a little fun little doodad we did the last time you were here for a future workshop. So I want people to know that, like, if you're enjoying this, there's another workshop going to be coming up soon. And I want to share with you a little peek. Let me see if Robyn recognizes this. Hopefully she does. Do you recognize it?
I mean, I know the workshop that you're talking about.
All right, here we go. Ready? I'm going to talk to you in the camera, okay? Mm-hmm. Robyn, you're talking about socks, and all I keep thinking about is I don't know how to make crochet socks, but I know that you are the absolute expert. Where can I go to get an amazing sock course taught by you? My breath must smell like coffee and Ruffles. I got it. Socks?
You mentioned socks today.
Did you say socks? I want to make socks.
Well, I got the course for you.
Oh, girls, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Mom? Did you say socks? Oh my God. Dude, our mom wants to style you as I'm on my knee. Hello. Oh my gosh. So all of you who are like, I love what you guys do. I love the outtakes. I love the stuff. Just want you to know we have classic colorful crochet socks workshop coming up. Coming up soon. So just stay on the lookout for that. Just a little tidbit. Yes, I had Ruffles and coffee that morning. Because that was in the morning. That was not later on in the day. It was like 9 in the morning.
No. This is how ridiculous we are when we're in the same room.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But the workshop is not all like fun and games like that. It's a really great workshop taught by Robyn. She's done a great job. I pop in a little bit every now and then. Hi, we see you. We all see you. With some tidbits. But yeah, socks. All the socks. Yeah, we all have such a good time. Nikki, hey, a shout out to Erin Lane Bags. They are great about dealing with international shipping. Thank you. Lindsay is like honestly one of my best friends from Erin Lane Bags. She's the owner, and she's the everything at Erin Lane Bags, and she is amazing about everything. And I'm loving all the items that the people in the box that got the box are getting from Erin Lane Bags. It's super cute stuff. I just love it. You guys are gonna have a good time. Have a good time.
I love that tiny itty bitty little bag that everyone got.
Yes,
that must have been so painful to sew, because sewing those little bags. Woof.
And if you guys watch the I think it was the Hound of Wine yarn. It was either the yarn or the colors we talked about. I think it was the yarn, how to wind yarn. Hello, you are needy. Okay. How to wind yarn. We mentioned, hey, Lindsay, Erin Lane bags is these little tiny bags you can put these in, and those were them. So it's pretty awesome. But I love Lindsay. We've already had several comments of people talking about how beautiful color A is from Destination Yarn, and they love knitting with it. So many of you have never knit with fingering weight before, and you did buy the box, and you're going with this beautiful yarn. Can I just tell you, not all yarn is made the same, and like Jean at Destination Yarn does such a great job, and her dyeing is designed to die for, is what I was going to say. It's really beautiful. I mean, so much so that even right now she's putting out like this whole, I think, Tokyo collection or Japan collection, and every day she's posting it, and I'm like, I gotta have that one. I gotta have that one. So yeah, make sure if you have not started yet, go check out Destination Yarn and look at all the awesome colors there. And if you like the tag team duo of Destination Yarn and Erin Lane bags, when it comes, she's looking at me. When it comes time, you definitely want to be a part of Destination Lane. I'm a part of it. I have been since the start. I love it.
I am as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello. Hi.
That's a monthly, you get a monthly subscription. So every month you can get a surprise yarn from Jean, or you're going to get a bag from Lindsay, or you can sign up just for the bags or just for the yarn, but it's fabulous.
I love it. Cindy says ruffles and coffee, the BiCrafty breakfast of champions. There you go. Janet says, yes, the yarn is gorgeous. It really is. The yarn is absolutely stunning and beautiful. But that wraps it up for us, guys. Hopefully this helped out with your question and answer. Don't forget, Member Vault is there for you. Make sure you log in. You can see all the different sections. Once we get through everything, you'll have a full PDF with all of the instructions in one. Am I missing anything? I don't think I am. Section 4 will be out very soon.
Section 5 will follow Section 4.
Yeah. I will say Section 4 for the knitters, I even alluded to it at the end of Section 3. It's my favorite. Like, I love the stitch, but it makes you think. It's going to require you to take some time. You will want to add a lifeline. All of the stuff I go over in the video, but
it's gorgeous.
It's so pretty, and it's worth it. It's worth the time. It's worth the, I don't want to say headache and stress. That makes it sound like it's awful, but I don't mean
it's not a headache. It's just focus.
Yeah, so, concentration. You cannot go on autopilot, and don't assume anything.
You can't Netflix and chill.
No. It'll be lifelines. Marla's in here. She's one of the testers, everybody. She's amazing. She's like lots of lifelines. And Marla, tell them it's pretty, because it's seriously, it's my favorite. I love it. I love number 4. I love number 5. I love I gotta think 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I love 9 and 10. Like, I love those. Like, I love them.
You love them all.
I do. I love them all. That's right. Like my children. I love them all, but you always have like that little favorite. Looking at you, Laura. Looking at you, Allie girl. I'm just joking. I love you, Kaden. I love you, JoJo. You guys are my favorite. Oh my God. All right. That's it from us, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Make sure you get some rest. Be ready to stretch out your fingers, and do not start Section 4 if you're knitting. If you're tired, just don't do it. Just wait. It's okay. This is not a race. You're not going to fall behind. Everything's going to be okay. It'll be worse if you start it and you're tired. Do not start it if you're tired. You want to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
And watch Marley's video.
Yes.
So, like, do the row when she's doing the row.
Yeah. That's a very, very good suggestion. All right. There we go. We're going to end it here. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.